Hello, hello. I think I'm live. Yes. Welcome to my desk. It's Friday the 13th, and it's been like a real strange week. But spring is here, and some of my flowers in the garden starts blooming. And I have been working outside in the garden. And hi, Laura. I got myself a little bit of what's it called, allergy. So I sound nasal and like I'm having a cold, but it's just a allergy. So I feel like I got like a thick throat or something. I don't know. It's not COVID. It's not COVID. But yeah, look, my lavender tree or bush is starting to bloom, and this little thing just fell off. So I brought it inside the house because the scent of this flower is just, oh my God, it's so lovely. So I wanted to celebrate it so it didn't go to waste. Yeah, but oh my God, what a week. I don't know if any one of you are heavily invested in the stock market or crypto, but oh my God, what a week. So I am highly influenced about that bubble. I got totally wrecked on a lunar precision, and so far it has been like unrealized losses, but this time it's for real. So this past 72 hours I have just had total focus, and me and my hubby have not been talking about anything else. So I feel like I am like a zombie, like I'm not 100% present. So that's why I have not been so much creative the past 3 days. Oh my God, and now this has been like the worst week ever. I have never experienced anything like it, and it's been so important for me because I don't know, yeah, to keep it short. Back in 2020, I started to get inflammation from arthritis, and it got real bad in 2021. So bad that I couldn't maintain my job properly, and I realized that I am not worth being employed by another boss if my company goes down, because I wouldn't be able to pull any weight. So I decided to come up with a financial solution to how I can retire in 2026, because I gave myself 5 years to figure it out. So we started in 2021 by selling a lot of our assets, turning them into money. And it was such a rough year because there was like a COVID recession in our uh, earnings from our private company. So we had to pile up a lot of money in a situation where we didn't even get much payment ourselves. But anyway, it really gave me like I am a fighter, right? So it gave me like I believe in my 2026 plan. So I've been kind of shaky this week after what happened, because I just feel like I'm taking a major step back. So that's why it's been occupying, and it kind of, I know a lot of people who say like, oh, you can add it out during the weekend, but right now it feels like I've been drinking like 10 cups of coffee for the past 3 days. So this stream might be affected by it. But I feel like I wanted to talk about it because also today I'm wearing my glove because this hand is like really sore. And I also wanted to talk about it because this might explain why I am on this constant no spend budget, and I don't want to come off like a person like I don't like the things that you shopped. So that's why I'm not going to get it. So I just wanted to keep it up open that being on this no spend journey is going to last until I reach some financial goals in 2026. So I kind of feel that I'm staying off channels that are enabling me, and I'm sorry for doing so, but I just have to do it because sometimes if I'm having a rot or something, I don't want to be exposed to enabling, because then it makes me not focus on my no spend journey. And I take it so seriously. I do spend when it's necessary. I have a tracker here. Yeah, I'm like that. All the green are the green days I went on and did not spend anything unnecessary beside buying food. And the days that where I spend, I keep a total in the bottom, and it's in Danish currency, so it may look like totally like almost 2,000, but it's not dollars; it's in Danish currency. And a lot of these things is like the big pull out here was a giant easel that I think was more like an investment, and the other thing is like glue, matte medium, just watercolor ground. Yeah, so it's like necessary spending, but totally on a tracker. So I just wanted to put it out there because people are talking more about almost like celebrating when they enable each other, making it sound like you are supporting a channel if you pick up the supplies that they are showing. And I just felt that I was sitting on a back seat and have been that since 2020. So yeah, I don't even know why I'm talking about all this. I'm just so, my head is so much up in my butt when it comes to financial things. Oh my god, I can't afford to buy and everything everyone uses. Oh, hi Carol. Yeah, right. Hi Tori. And for me, it has meant that those big channels where they are enabling, I feel I don't want to watch so much, because it just feels a little bit sad having to say no to yourself 7 times a week or something. So I would rather just not be present. But the back side of that is that it feels in the community like I have withdrawn. Like I'm not so, I don't participate so much in chat and stuff, like not so visible, but I'm still here. And now you got the explanation. But I really, like if I feel that I could have like an art supply that would spark joy or give me progress or something, I don't think it's wrong to go and get it. I just don't go and get everything, every book, every whatever. Hi, Barbara. Let's see. Let me talk about what I've been painting. I like to show what I've been working on during the week. I did this paper piecing project from Daphne's diary, and it turned out so beautiful that I decided to decorate it with stickles. And it was a little bit tedious to cut out all these paper collage pieces, but I think it was so worth it in the end when it got assembled, and I really enjoy looking at it. And I can see the layering because I'm up close. I know the camera doesn't really show, but there is like a lot of layering going on in this collage. You could call it a collage. Yeah, it's really really likable. Oh, let me see if I'm missing something in chat. Let's see. I like the challenge of finding something I can substitute. Yes, yes, yes. So true. So true. Like go back and fall in back in love with an old thing from your stash is just one of those perks that surfaces when you are on a long-term budget. so, so true. Let's see. I got some other drawings. Yeah, I revitalized my old gouache set and made it work again. So I tried this in gouache, and that's like real gouache drawing where you don't barely use any water, so it's all based on strokes. and you really have to think because it's opaque, yes, but it's also a little bit transparent, so you can actually see some layering through the layers, but totally opaque. Look how this pink is just covering that blue. So yeah, I want to learn more about how to paint in this style for sure. And then, of course, what's trending right now is the banana duck. It's a pun on the artwork where the artist took a real banana and with duct tape taped it to a canvas and sold it for like gazillion, like really a lot of money. So the pun is the Dutch tape turned into a duck, and here in Denmark we have a saying when something is not true, we call it was a duck. So this is just so funny. But I had to cover in the background for this drawing, and I was choosing my old gouache set from Arteza that had totally dried up. So I used the dried gouache for black color for the background, and then it was so annoying because it was like transparent when it came on because it was dried up gouache. So it motivated me to go and revitalize this whole palette. I don't know if you remember it from one of my previous streams, but these were like totally dried up. So now I brought them back to life. And I have to say that I enjoy the palette 100 times more. It was a bit messy. It was a bit messy, but I think I made it. So yeah, gouache is likable to work with in wet condition when you have to ask me. So hi CP. No, I have not been on long. I've been babbling for like 13 minutes, so it's not much. You didn't miss much. Um, let's see. The fun thing is that Lori, Pink Girly, she was live just before me. She was working actually on a drawing inspired by Tamara Laporte, willowing art. And I have been working on the exact same drawing. So I thought it was so funny, that both of us picked up the same motivation to work on one of Tamara Laporte's pieces. Yeah, I did this one. It's a stream from Tamara Laporte, and you can go and watch her. It is super beautiful. Laurie's turned out so awesome. I did this one because I wanted to try and test something. The eye looked wonky, but it's because of the sketchbook. It's one of the last pages here. um, this was fun for me to do because of one thing. I wanted to try and see if I could do a complete page spread a la Willowing Orc just using this palette here, just using gouache. And it's because sometimes when Tamara Laporte she is doing one of her fabulous page spreads, she used a lot of stuff like Stabilo all white acrylic ink, watercolor. She may start on a gessoed page. She used Posca pens, ink pens, color pencils, crayons, acrylic, and new color too. She just have a lot of items that she grabs for one page spread. And I was thinking, I wonder if you could just use one media. So everything you see here is done just with gouache, and it was possible because the white is so opaque that it actually is a substitute to white ink, white acrylic. You can dilute the gouache so thin with a tiny brush that it can be a substitute to ink pens and Posca pens. I say Posca pens because you can put so much gouache on your brush that it becomes saturated, so you can get these like really dark black applications looking like it was done with a Posca pen. So, and I even did go on top of, just with the white gouache as you would do with a white Posca. So it was really a fun challenge to do this. Yeah, she likes new color too, also, and some sort of art stick that reminds me a little bit of a gelato she used for her skin tone. I just remember, when I'm working on a willowing page, I feel like I have to dig out a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I, just worked on this one. And then I was practicing the flowers and the roses with gouache. This one is like the most likable, I think. So I still need more practice with the roses, but it's a good excuse to try out a fun face. So yeah, and then I did some work in my Linda Barry journal. I try to do the daily pages, and this week I digged out some of my old Daphne's Diary magazines, so I used some inspiration from those. I think this is where we caught up the last. Oh no 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 no! I forgot. We did the crazy gallery where a lot of Muppet inspiration came in. After I turned off the camera, I decided to include some monsters from Janet M. Young's scene. So I just photocopied them and glued them in, and it's these pasted monsters you see right here. And then I drew this one on my own because there was like a chicken here. They're eating popcorn, and then I thought it could be fun if one of the guests got eaten by another guest. So I made this one and it cracked me up. So I kind of okay, and then I put in this guest here in the background because it's just so funny that he's so large. He takes up two booths, and you can't even see his face. So he's just like a big monster. So that was really really fun. Um, let's just flip so we get. I think I talked about these pages on my last stream, and we were about. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Well, we went out to an exhibition of, it was called Exotic Critters, but because my mind is in the gutter, I kept reading Erotic Critters, and they had posters with this word erotic critters all over it was like a giant indoor football field with a lot of sale booth where they were selling snakes and scorpions and giant spiders, uh, all kinds of wonky, crazy, scary critter. Like, and we are not into lizards and snakes, nothing like that. But we are afraid of spiders, so we thought that it could be, I don't know, we could learn something from going to this critter show and just look at it safely up close. But what happened was that they had so many spiders and really creepy things that we actually got kind of scared. We couldn't even touch the plastic containers they were in, and it was really weird. It was this show where they were selling these things also. So imagine when you're ordering Chinese food and you get it in these plastic container with a very thin plastic lid that it looks like it can pop off. So we could feel that the paranoia was real when we entered that place, right? So we talked about standing, if this was the whole show area, and we would be like in the corner, and this is the exit up here. What if the light went out and you could hear a lot of things getting smashed to the ground because people was running to the exit, and you could hear all the like the panic, people knocking things over trying to get to the exit, and that you in full darkness had to walk toward the exits with all the smashed up cages where all the animals were loose, you know? So this page spread is about that. And then while we were in there, my son made a comment about, oh, tomorrow is Mother's Day. So now would be a good time to get a gift for you, you know? So I was like, no. Hi, Kathy. Okay, let me see. Hi, Gail. Am I sorry if I missed someone coming in? But that page spread is just about that Saturday where we took on the exhibition of these erotic critters. So, and then the day after was Mother's Day, and I got two gifts. This was kind of, you know, my son asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day, and I kind of told him that, oh, if you're gonna get me something, I would love the Arctic squash set. So I kind of ordered it for myself on Amazon. You know how it is, like you're almost like giving yourself a gift, but then you say it's from your son because he wants to give you something. So I got this gouache set, and I am so happy about it. It is so cool, and it's like a new toy. I don't feel like I've been having a new art supplies for so long. So I anticipated the shipment of this like a little freak. I'm telling you, like every day I was checking the track and trace the delivery. Oh, and this is just so yummy. The colors are just so bright, really likable. It's very opaque gouache, as you can see. It's so velvety matte, and yeah, I really love this set. And I was so interested to see the consistence of fresh gouache because I have been revitalizing my own sets. So I kind of want to see how moist is gouache when it arrives, new. The palette is yellow. I love the yellow look on my desk. Not so fond about the yellow mixing tray though, but it's an opaque paint, so I think yeah, I can make it work. I can make it work. There is a strange odor to this, and I was in doubt whether it was the plastic of the palette or the actual paint. But I've been sniffing it a little bit, and I come to the conclusion that it's actually the paint. It smells a little bit artificial, like polymer plastic or something. So that's, yeah, I just want to put it out there in case, yeah. I think the odor will disappear during time. I don't know. But did you hear the lid? Did you just hear her just snap? Ah, love it. So it's a set where you can trust the lid, and it just means a lot because on my old set I cannot trust the lid. It pops up and it's just annoying. So, and then my hubby gifted me these jars, and they're so beautiful, and it's a table set where you can store things in it. There's like three of them. They're so beautiful. It's like a turquoise ceramic, and they're just, I mean, so pretty. So of course I filled them all up with my stuff. So on my desk I got this wonderful setup of this ceramic, um what is it called, a jar. So I really like it a lot. I really, I mean, it just looks so pretty. Is that a word? Like I like looking at it during the day. I'm just kind of crazy like that. So of course I had to paint them. And this is that painting. Does it belong in a Lynda Berry daily spread? I think it does because I called it the Monster Mother Day, and then the idea is to use more illustration, less text. So I just kind of draw my gifts, um, and then it's up to my memory when time goes on to remember why are these two drawings here. So, but Barbara Clark is doing the, Linda Barry daily diary, like one spread a day, and I just wanna you know, I how do I say? Is it called applause? I just want to, yay, big applause to you for keeping it up. It is so cool that you are working on your Linda Berry daily diary art journal. I just love it. I wish that I could do a daily spread also, but time is just yeah, it just have not. So I've been a little bit scattered with mine this year. Then I received the awesome scene from Janet M. Young and I photocopied it. I want to put it into this journal because it belongs in this journal, right? So let me see what Carol is saying. You don't do it daily, but when things happens, I add a couple days into one. Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I think it's just you don't have to have a fixed schedule. If you have a busy week and you kind of have to skip a week, I think it's totally okay. So isn't acrylic a type of plastic? I think you're right, Carol. I really think it smells like polymer clay. So yeah, it just I don't think it was the container, I think it was the paint that smelled like polymer clay. Let's see. Barbara C says, "Thank you, Lena. I am really finding that I'm fed by this. I'm doing a lot more writing than you and want to do more illustration." Oh, it's really difficult to do illustrations because you need to also accept that they don't turn out the way they're inside your head, So sometimes I get disappointed. I want something specific to come out on the page and then it doesn't really show. So, oh, you skipped yesterday? Yeah, it's so okay to skip. You know what? As soon as it becomes a chore, I think one should give it a break because it should be only about joy. And that's why I think it's so difficult for me to keep up a planner system. I keep not having the same planner from January to December. I switched things up. So I had to switch up my April and May into this setup here because I actually got fed up with my original planner, which was I started the year in this book here. So I think it's very natural to give yourself a way out so it doesn't become a chore but still becomes a joy. So I use that a lot when it comes to planners. Okay, but I actually printed out Janet's scene and glued it on these pages, and then I had to glue it on something. So I sat down and jelly printed these pages right here. And while I was jelly printing, I remember Janet Nass asked in my last stream if you could jelly print with gouache. And I gave it a try and it flunked totally. I don't know what went wrong. It was just ugly. And I didn't like it. Yeah, it was just, I use poster paint on my jelly plate. Poster paint is a bit like gouache, but it's worse. It's like tempera paint. I use this on my jelly plate, and it's a thicker consistent, so I'm able to roll it on. I'm able to take it off a stencil. Look, it's totally gloopy. uh, I'm able to work with it, on the jelly plate, but I didn't get the same feeling with gouache for some reason. I don't know. Can be something about the kind of gouache that I got. There's a lot of different brands in gouache. So, yeah, but I kicked them out and then I just used my acrylic jelly prints instead. And I had a lot of misfortunate starter prints like this one here. So, this is a daily diary from the 11th. I worked in the garden and I didn't have anything fun to say because for me it was just chores, nothing fun. And then that was actually the day where I started to dig out some of my old Daphne's Diary magazines. So I saw this beautiful cutout here, and it's from this issue where in the back there are some I don't even know what they call it. You know, the style of Daphne. Like they give you an idea, like, hey, you can do this. And one of them was to cut out these squares, assemble it in a book, and then give you some ideas of how to sprinkle your daily day with a little bit more joy. And some of the ideas is like this: drink a lovely cup of coffee with your best friend. You know, suggestions. So I just found that this one was so cute. Use your green fingers to give your plant a little attention. So I glued it in. And then suddenly I started reading the other, can you call it prompts? I read the other prompts, and I read it with the eye of a monster, like if I was one of this monster character. And then suddenly it became a little bit hilarious, because then I saw the next one, and it was like, afford yourself the time to have a cup of special herbal tea and discover the flavor. So I suddenly thought that if I viewed it with a monster's eye, it would totally be like cannabis special herbal tea. So I had to make this page spread about. And I said, oh, that's too bad, Lena, that you didn't get good results from the gouache on the jelly plate. Yeah, I just didn't like it. um let's see, you skipped yesterday. Pat on the back though. Yes, so sure, you've done it since April 24th. That is so so good, because remember, Barbara, that I told you guys only to do this for like a month, you know, like 30 days. So you are so um what's it called when you're like you did it with gusto, and pulled your weight into this comp book for sure. So, and this page spread I misread, and because I'm from Denmark, sometimes when I read text, like I got the exotic critter turned into erotic critter in my brain. I misread this one. It says put your coat on and go for a walk out in the nature for 1 hour. But what I read was put your goat on and go for a walk out in the nature. And then I got this image like put your goat on. What the hell? So I had to go back and read it one more time. And then I actually thought that, oh, that would be perfect to illustrate it. And I also think that it's so hilarious that in the, what was it? It wasn't that long ago, like in 1950s and 40s here in Denmark, women actually had a, a fox around their neck when they were dressing up. I know it sounds weird. It wasn't a fox that was attached to a coat. It was like a piece of fur, like and the fox had its mushed down face with ears and everything, and dangling legs. And it was highly fashioned during post-war time and also after Second World War time. So from the 30s to the 40s, I can see pictures from Danish women wearing a dead fox around their neck when they're going out. And it was not attached to a coat. It was like an accessory that you put on as a scarf. So it makes, I was just thinking about it, you know, while I was doing this monster going outside, putting a goat on instead of a coat. Yes, right. It was with head and everything, and the eye sockets was just hollow, like and it was squished. So it was like this flat face looking, and it was like with dangling legs and everything. It was like really, really strange. Okay, and then I got this wonderful idea from Gail to even out a wonky spine, that I should just insert some of my jelly print pages, my painterly pages from my jelly print in the back of the book. And I did so. So I started to draw on some of them. These are the pages that I inserted, and it's actually a lot. I think I can use them for small illustrations. So I started on this one here when I was watching Janet M. Young. So I was just painting along. And then I think the plan is to just, when I get an idea of a monster illustration, I should put it on these pages in the back. And one of the idea is this monster flying in an aeroplane. I don't know. I've had that image inside my head for quite a while. So finally it got down on a page. And then this is like also an image that I wanted to paint by using the color scheme from this pocket that I made here. So it's more like decoration, you know. And in this pocket right here, I actually got the next Daphne's Diary prompt thing ready. It says, take a moment to give your pet a proper cuddle. And I can just imagine that these monsters has like monster pets, so it's dangerous to get close to them. So it would be like a task of fear having to cuddle and be social with your pet. So I want to draw my next monster spread is going to be like this monster picking up this giant little pet, you know, that's super dangerous. I have to work on that one. Yeah, and that's oh, thank you. The mouth would climb on another tail to keep it on. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh my god, that's even more horrible. Let's see. Did it help to even out the spine? Yes, I think it did. Because I can see now that it's starting to get wonky on this side. So, if I hadn't done it, you can see how this is starting to curl the wrong direction. But now you can kind of squeeze it a little bit more straight. So, but my spine, if I did not do it, can you see how this end of the page will start curling, curling, curling? So, and the good thing about is that most of my wonky prints are done on pretty sturdy paper, and then they are applied with acrylic, which makes them having even more gusto and weight. And then when you glue it on both side of the pages, I end up with this cardstock because it's thick jelly print back and forth, plus the page from the comp book, giving me this sturdy, almost like a cardstock. So I hope that it will help giving some stability to the back. So it was like an awesome tip. Okay, today we're gonna work with a really strange exercise from the Lynda book. I'm not sure that I like it. Let me get the book. Oh, I got the packaging. I saved the packaging from the present I got for my Mother's Day in case someone asked me what it is. And it's Knapstruck ceramic. I don't know. I just saved it because sometimes you get asked what brand it is and stuff like that. And then now you guys know. Now I can throw it out. Yoo-hoo. Okay. Yeah. Today is kind of strange. We have done this exercise on my previous stream where I ended up with a gallery of Muppet figures. And then I flip the pages and can see that the next exercise, Lynda Barry is working with a blue colored pencil from Stettler. She is introducing the non-blue Stettler pencil, looking like this, a Stettler. This is the brand name. Will it focus? Stettler. Um, she's introducing the non-photo blue pencil, and she wants us to draw a burning house. And the way she wants us to draw it is to first sketch it out with the blue pencil. Now my focus was running wild. First, she wants us to sketch it with the blue pencil and then go over it with a, she suggests a Papermate Flare black pen. Um, then color it. And the whole reason for working with this non-photo blue pencil, I was like thinking, why is that an issue? Why is it so important? So I was reading, and the explanation actually comes on page 118. So, in case you guys got the book and you're following along, you can go read on page 118 about the quality of this blue pencil. I'm not sure that it's working. She states that it's a color that when you put it into black and white photocopy, the pencil line from this pencil will disappear, and what's left is only the black marks. I'm not sure that's true because if it was, how come that she can print this page? But of course, this is in color, so maybe that's why. So I thought that we should first of all test out this non-photo blue pencil, and she wants us to draw a burning house. And I was trying to read why. I mean, why would anyone draw a house on fire? I think it's a little bit creepy prompt, right? Um, she doesn't come with an explanation to why we have to do such a graphic drawing of a burning house. So I think I'm just gonna draw the house, but it's not a prompt that I think is likable because I think it's a little bit scary. But when she's showing the pages of the students' houses on fire, I can see how hard it is to express a roaring, thundering fire because this looks like an explosion. This looks like smoke, and I can see that the exercise might be that it's really hard to draw something that's moving. Like fire is a moving shape, and it has different expressions. Like here, where it's got like high flames on the roof, and then not so high flames on the window. So yeah, it's just a scary thing to draw, right? I use a non-repro blue watercolor pencil for my drawings. I bet I got it from the book. Oh, that maybe non-repo. Yeah, it's the first time for me to work with a blue. I mean, I can see learning to draw flames, but a house? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why draw a burning house? It's so scary. So, yeah, maybe, yeah, a blazing fireplace. Yeah, it's but I think I want to follow her exercise and not questioning them. So I'm just gonna do it, but kind of think it's a little bit weird. But first of all, I would like to try and sketch with this non-photo blue. Go on top of it with a black Papermate flare. Take a black and white copy of it in my printer, and then see what we get. So let's uh, let's draw that. Kathy Arba says draw a bonfire instead. Yeah, I could. I'm just gonna go for the house because I am teacher's pet. Linda Barry wants us to draw a house, and I'm gonna do like she does, like totally sketchy, quick sketch lines. You get about 3 minutes in her class to do this house, and it's just a sketch line. We're not talking any colors here. So I know I have to work pretty fast to get the house down. And then I think that I would, like do some flames. And of course, the drawing is going to look like it's done in a hurry because it is done in a hurry. I think I just want this side of the house on fire so it's like not caught up the whole house yet. Now I'm really trying to use this blue on my sketch because we want to see if it shows up right. I think maybe that's how far I would go, and then go on top of it with a paper made flare. Wait, I already there messed up a sketch line. I should draw the the flames first. Okay, I'm trying to do it fast. Oh, here I can see how the blue is helping because the flames are covering up the line work of the roof. So here I can see the madness about when you inking your sketch, you can skip those lines. Okay, do we agree? It was fast. It might have been like the 3 minutes. I got a mixture of the blue line work uh to the black. Yeah. I think now I should maybe express these lines a little bit more just to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's pretend that this is a work sketch for a drawing that has to be prepared to be added color on. So now I'm going to take a photocopy in my printer in black and white and see what happens to this blue color. So hang on while I'm gone. You can look at the colors in my palette. So at least I will not have like a black table. I'm back. Okay. I went to the toilet. So I was gone like a long time. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, it is true. Can you see how the blue line work is like a transparent black line? So it just give a very faint outline. But what's striking is that the black roof broken line work because of the flames is as accurate as they could be. But it kind of helped me when I sketched out the house that I could take like one long line of blue so I could get like a level roof and then paste the flames on top of that line work, and then it actually disappeared in the photocopy. Oh, I am so out of frame. Was I out of frame right there? I'm just looking at myself in my own comp book. That line work there was drawn in like one long line in blue, and then it was broken up when I lined it up in black. And that line work has disappeared right here. So yeah, that's actually that's actually good to know. But then you have to think that you're working with a photocopy, right? Like if you want to, I don't know, work with this right here. Let's see. Um, did I miss anything? Think of it as it's the devil's house, and he or she loves fire. Maybe. So, yeah, those short terms like draw something in 5 minutes, I also dislike it because I think it becomes a little bit sloppy, and you're hurrying up, so you might take some decisions that are very spontaneously, but at the end of the day, if you don't like what you see, like then you might as well just have taken the time to do it properly. Okay, I'm totally anal about this exercise book, as you can see. I want to glue it in right here as like I tested it out or something. Hi, Helle. Oh my God, Helle, I'm glad you're here. Today is on Danish Stor Bededag, right? It's a national holiday, and I wanted to start my stream by saying something about I wish you a nice holiday. And then I needed Google Translate to tell me what Stor Bededag is in English, and it suggested that today is the big bed day. So Helen, try putting on Danish Stor Bededag into Google Translate, and you'll get the big bed day. So I guess today I should have streamed from my bed or what. I have no idea what this holiday is called in English, but we're having a national day off. Wait, and Hella, who is in chat, she gifted me the most beautiful, beautiful watercolor palette. I keep it on my desk. She works with ceramic. Look, 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 look. I mean, this is so precious. It is so pretty, almost too pretty to be used. I have refilled the wells a couple of times. I started out with a Primatech selection, but then I used it up, so I refilled this with a Hansa Yellow instead, and I think this is a kyanite. Yeah, but isn't it just awesome? Helle, I got gifted some ceramic from my hubby for Mother's Day, and it was these pots right here from the Danish brand called Knapstrup Syltekrukke. And they're so lovely. They come in this like turquoise color, like a matte finish, glasur matte finish. So so beautiful. I really love them a lot to have art supplies in. So instead of using them in the kitchen, I use them for my desk. So yeah, it's just there's just something really nice about ceramic. I don't know, porcelain and ceramic is just really really nice. So, oh, now it comes to you seldom. I think you should, Hella. I mean, this is just so special. It's yeah, you should sell them. I want to show you something. Let's see. Hang on, I have to detach it from my window. My hubby's brother's wife, I don't know what that is, a sister-in-law? No, I don't know. But she makes these. It's also ceramic, and she sells them in a shop where tourists comes, and they go as hot bread. I mean, and it's just a cute little trinket, but because it's made in ceramic and it's coated with that really shiny um, glazour top coat, it's very likable to hold in your hand because it's so smooth. The size is just perfect for a small trinket. She sells so many of these. Isn't it just beautiful? I love it. I got it hanging in my window. So, yeah, now I have to remember to put it back. No, Lena, I didn't make it. It's a ceramic artist named Tina. I remember that you told her to make it. So I thought it was like your design and everything. But it is just so beautiful. I'm just saying that you made it because you made it happen, right? So, okay, but back to my Linda Barry. Now I'm supposed to color in. Okay, if I start coloring in this, I will not have the original. Okay, I think I should just color it in quickly and then not think about not having the original. I just really want to get past that exercise with the burning house, because I think it's a little bit scary topic. I am using my gouache because I want this to happen like really fast. So in the Linda Barry book, she suggested I colored it in with colored pencil, but that would like take so long time. So instead, I'm just digging into this gouache. Whee! But for sure, you can draw everything you want, but it's kind of strange how some topics are a little bit scary. And for me, burning houses is one of those scary topics that I think is a little bit like, ugh. I think I should go for like burnt sienna on the roof. Maybe I should try see if yellow ochre helps. No, it doesn't. Can you see how I need to go black on the roof to make the flames pop? So we're gonna give this a black roof instead. Yeah, that made it pop a little bit more. Um, I want to go for like a black, red, reddish black window. I will try and blend that out in a second. I just want that first coat. And then I can take like black windows down here. blue door. Why not take a blue door? And then maybe a different color like green window in the door. And the house itself should be like a sand color, I think. Something, maybe this one here. So it gets like a bright color. I'm using a flat brush with my gouache. I like using a flat brush. This is my query attempt to make some shadows. Ooh, that was too much. I just want some sort of dimension. And then I think a totally blue, very dark blue color to frame in the house. And soon I can call this done. But that was like the most weird prompt in the whole book, and the whole book is filled with strange prompts to begin with. So I'm gonna mix in a little bit black with that dark right here. So now I can say that I did the exercise to Lynda Perry. Uh, yeah, that was fast, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. Yes, those colors are easy to put down, and I'm not really sloppy, like I'm not really um particular. I'm still getting to know the media gouache, so it's still new to me. Okay, and then when I flip through the pages, she's mostly talking about that non-photo blue pen. So I think I should try and work more with it. And then her next exercises is that you take the squares of a paper and try and draw in a specific person, like this is a detective and this is a smoker, this is a biker. And I don't think that I will work on that today. There's like a lot of these that's colored in. Yeah, this is more about that non-photo blue pencil. Yeah, so you could actually say from page 102 to 118, she's working with the grid and the non-photo blue pencil. I think that I should make my own journal spread for today, working with the photo non-blue pencil. Let's see, is the gouache she was thinking of reviving after doing? Yes. Hi, Amber. I needed some black gouache for a background to a drawing. I can show the drawing. Let's see. I drew this banana duck, and then I needed the black gouache to do the background. So I took the dried out black from this palette, and it was so transparent, and gave myself like a really bad non-saturated black background. So I thought, oh, I didn't like it. And then I tried to re-wet the black pan from this set here, and I immediately saw that it became more opaque. So it gave me an opportunity to simply just go in and wake up this gouache palette from the dried consistence that it had into these more juicy colors that you see here. It's much nicer to play with them now, I think. I can easily load up a brush because it's moist. So yeah, I I have no regret, even though it, it took a little bit of time. But I think it was worth the time. So yeah, the banana dog is really funny. It's a pun on the art piece that sold for millions. You know, where he took a real banana and with Dutch tape just taped it to a white canvas and then it sold for 1 million or something. So, yeah. Okay, this is somehow dried up. Let me just hit it with a heat gun. Can you see it still smears off? So I can flip the page. So, hang on. Okay. Yeah, it's totally crisp dry. Okay, new page. Away with that, the burning house. I don't like it. But okay, I thought that today I could make a daily journal spread where, you know, that word pun that the national holiday today translated in English is the big bed day. So the way that I would attack a daily spread like that is first to give myself a border. And I'm just gonna use this blue pen. The most typical border that I have are like diamond shapes, and then instead of filling in the whole line work, I just do one line work, so it gives this kind of fun look to it. Like here, it let me see. Here it's a little bit different. The way I do these is that I take a little darker color for the line that's going underneath. If you can see, I have like a darker color for the line work going underneath, and then a light one for the one on top. And those are like the two borders that I think are pretty easy to work with. I can draw one of them now if you want to see. If you want to see this one, maybe I should just show this one now. I'm talking about it. And it's not difficult at all. All you need is a brush that's like not too wide. This is a Kolinsky 4, I think. It doesn't have any number 3. It's a Kolinsky 3. Um, I pick a color, and I think let's try and work with. Here we had like the orange and the lighter yellow as contrast. We could take a different color, like what would it be so it shows up more? I can't think today. Like, let's make a blue border that's gonna show up more on screen. So I start just taking that one color and then making the crossword of the cross grid just in one color. And I do that because it needs to be something where you don't really think. As soon as you're doing like Celtic things, when you have to think what's going up, what's going under, it just becomes a crazy task to do, and then it's not mindless. And it needs to be mindless because I don't do the meditative exercises that Linda Barry suggests to get in mindset of having cleared your brain and ready to do some page spreads that's creative. So I do the borders as my meditative clearing the brain exercise. So that's why it must not be complicated. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose of why we have to do these borders, right? In fact, I think that she never really gave an explanation to why we have to do the borders. I think she just have that as a her signature look of how a composition page spread looks like when using her style, is that she's got them decorated with borders. The reason why I use gouache for this book is because I like that it's so opaque. It's like using a Posca pen or something. And then I'm a sucker for using my stash. So I don't want to use like a expensive Posca paint on such a huge project as a 200-page comp book because it would eat up my Poscas in no time. So I'm finding that this gouache is so opaque that it's a good substitute for a Posca pen set. Okay, now I got the first value in. Then I pick in my palette a darker color. I had this one, so I picked a darker one, and then I decide that the bands that are going in this direction, all of them should be on top of the design. So it must mean that all of those going the opposite way is under the design. And now I can immediately see that that hue does not stand out. So I divert and take like a Prussian blue that's more contrast. Yeah. If I take like a Prussian blue, and if we have to talk about meditative things, you would be surprised how relaxing it is to make these borders while listening to another streamer, or just listening to a YouTube upload or something, because you're present and then yet you're not. You're kind of zoned into just hitting the line work. And it's also one of those tasks where you can just stop and pick up where you left. It's not like sometimes when I'm painting something, I have a certain mix in my palette. And because I got like a really short term memory, I'm not sure I can hit the same mix just, flying from the seat of my pants. So I try to sort of, you know, not get too much interrupted when I have a sitting with a drawing. But these borders are not that important. So you can schedule them in. Um, for instance, if you're cooking, where you know that every 10 minute or 8 minute or something, you have to leave your seat and go to the kitchen. These are like excellent for that. Let's say that I can see on the camera I'm not having like a strong contrast, but now I want it because I'm streaming. With gouache, you can just pick a lighter color and go directly on top with just a stroke, then I will get that. I want something that the camera picks up is a color difference. And as long as you do it in a certain pattern, you don't have to think about the composition of the pattern itself because you divide it up into you're doing the same sort of stroke for each application. Then it's like really easy. Okay, that was the easy part. Now comes the most important thing, which is the black line work, because that's going to be more visual of what lines goes over and under in the pattern. So this one is the best to view. And I follow the same principle, like do the repetitive strokes that you can repeat without thinking. So I'm just gonna dot in all those lines that's in this direction. So imagine if I had to think, I had to like go like, okay, and this one is going under, then it would be something that needed your brain. If I had to paint the whole section at a time. But if you're breaking it up like this, it's just, I'm telling you guys, now I'm rushing through it because I'm streaming, right? So it will not be nice. And I don't care because nice is not a part of this journal. Oops. Sometimes I look at Celtic knots images on Google and get so confused. I can't understand syntagmal patterns. I can't take them apart unless I get a visual step out. And this is as intricate as I can get in a relaxed mode when it comes to these kind of, I would call them like Celtic inspired borders. But I can see when I'm flipping through Linda Barry's comp book that she's using the same pattern more than 100 times on her page spreads. So it seems to me that she, like me, just fell in love with two or three different kind of borders and then just change up the width of them and the color. So it looks like this. It actually looks nicer than how much effort it took. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel uh like a super heavy task to do compared to the outcome, because to me it's like I can rest my hands and then just do strokes. See, I always screw up this border because it's over and underline. Yes. And if you look at some of the borders, Celtic nuts, where they're like in a circle, so not only do you have to worry about line work going over and under, you also have to paint them in a geometric shape. That's like really too much. That's like asking too much for my brain. but I love the look of it, and I think the way it translates to me is that the more difficult, the more I love it, because I know the hard labor behind making them, or the brain power needed to figure them out. But there must be like, you break down a centangle pattern. There got to be some pages out there on the internet where they break down a very intricate Celtic border pattern into steps, so that you will be able to do these. Okay, that was not bad, was it? Now comes another fun thing, which is to put in an accent color to this border to make it pop. The accent to blue is orange, so I think it would be the go-to color to use. I'm just gonna really wash out this brush because black has a tendency to get all the way up in the bristles, leaving a residue. Um, when I'm working with gouache, I don't like to use a lot of water, so I just twirl off my brush on a cloth. Can you see how much black that's still inside my brush? It just keeps on and on. So, okay, now it's clean enough. Could it be that if I took a fresh jar of water, it would help? Let's see. Okay, and now for the accent color. If you have like a tiny flat brush, where is my? Let me see where it is. I got this acrylic brush that's like half an inch wide, flat brush. You will get such a nice result. Let me demonstrate. Oh, this gouache right here is a little bit gloopy, so I'm just gonna pick some up on the palette and add a little bit of water to it so it becomes smooth. Yeah, that's how I like it, like smooth. Okay, the trick is that the bristle on this brush is exactly what you need to make the square inside here. So now I'm getting a little bit out of frame in some of them, but being consistent just gives it a nice look. So can you see how fast you can fill in that border without having to sit and be fussy? That's what I like the most, where you get the help from your brush to your, I almost said artwork. I don't think that this is like totally artwork, but you kind of get the help from your tools to do the job faster. So ta-ta, now it's filled in. And the same goes with the painting around this pattern by using a small flat brush. Let's say that we want, should we have like, what color should we use? We have a lot to choose from. Let's go with a crazy pink, shall we? I mean, just a neon pink, so that really shock our system and our eyes to look at. You cannot escape this border color right here. It's like right in your eyes, but it's fun to look at. The same with that shape of the brush. It's just effortless. Okay, I need a paper underneath this so I don't take on the back side. You have to see how fast it goes. I mean, it's just the shape of the bristles. So I don't know if you can imagine how you can really get relaxed doing this, because it's not like it's so intricate that you're sitting with a round brush nib having to be mindful about painting outside or inside any kind of line work. Here, I'm just trusting the shape of the brush to help me out. And then I just like to flip things, so I'm just doing the exact same movements as the previous page. So I'm a big fan of turning your book upside down and round and whatnot to get the same exact sitting as before, so I don't need to swap up too much. And this pattern that I painted right here was without measurement when I started. Can you imagine if you used the lines on these pages to make equal diamond shaped before you began doing this border? Like, it is possible to figure out that one diamond should only fill like two lines because you got the lines to assist you, you know? Then it would be like even more symmetric when you're going with the brush, like tuk, 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 because they're spaced equally. But that's basically how to do a really fast yet colorful border. And now comes the question about how to kind of round it in. I would like the pink color to hug the page spread. So I think that I would just with the use of water, let it blend out. But kind of hugging in the page. Let's see, this is one of the borders I did in my stained glass windows. Oh, cool. They must have looked awesome in glass. I can just picture. I just can't believe anyone having the patience working with glass pieces. Whew, I would be like the worst to have in those rooms, being so clumsy and all. Okay, let's say that you want a different color still, like you're still building on your colorful border. You can just switch to, I'm going for this beige right here. And because I have the flat tip, it's still super fast just to plug it in. And now you're thinking that, oh my god, now the border is getting like fatter and fatter. There also have to be room for my page spread. But I kind of like those really dominating fat borders, because when flipping through your comp book in the end, it just gives some vitality to the page. Like when you see a colorful border in some sort of a neon color or something, your brain expects like, ooh, there's something like that's gonna be interesting to look at because of the color. So now I've got a very soft transition into the white of the page. So it's a full border, I would call it, because you got color inside the border, on the edge to the page, and then inviting some color into the real page. So not that there is any study in how to make a full border, but that's how I like to think that I'm done with the border. I can see that people who are centangling would feel compelled to grab a pen and then work even more on these borders by adding in dots and I don't know, twirls or just mark making with a pen. And I think it's so cool that you can sit down, kick your brain to the curve, and then just start doing a lot of borders in a book. Not really trying to attempt to make a page spread, but you're preparing your book for page spreads. And then when you're done, you really feel that you've been creative. I know it sounds strange because you haven't really done a page spread yet, but you got in touch with color and brushes and pens, and so that would be the start. And then now it has to dry, so I'm just gonna blow it quickly with my heat gun. Let's see, and then get caught up a little bit in chat. Hang on. I'm closing the door just a moment. We're having rain today, so I can see that it's going to rain soon, so I don't want all the spiders to come in through my garden door. I can see that I got really messy with the water right here. Can you see how it's just puddling up? And it's so important, I have to say it, to dry your borders because you're gonna let your arm rest. And you would be so annoyed if you smeared out a border that you just made. So I always make sure that my borders are crisp dry before I start working on the page spread. So I think I'm gonna let this dry by itself because it would take like eons to do it with the heat gun. And I can see in chat that you're using craft paint. Barbara, craft paint will work too. Yes. Is it acrylic or the poster paint? Hi, Barbara. Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. I love that name. I actually think that I want to try my poster paint in my Lynda Berry comp book just to see. Just curious. I'm just curious. So I brought them out today. What I like is that they were very inexpensive to buy. I paid 20 Danish kroner. That's about $3 for such a huge jug of it. But the downside is that they last forever. It's impossible to use up the poster paint. So unless I find a way to include it, I don't I can't see myself ever using up all this poster paint. So this Easter, I got a gift. I got a tiny chocolate Easter egg, and the packaging was so cute. It was this. It was like tiny small Easter chocolate egg shaped. I just really like this miniature. So I thought, oh, I can't bin it. I need to hang on to it. But now it's been a month since it was Easter, and I still haven't utilized this one. So what I've done is that I coated it with clear gesso to make like a surface that's somehow waterproof. And then I plan to pour in my poster paint into this and see if it hardens up, if I can re-wet it like you would with a watercolor. So it's actually just a little experiment and also an excuse to start using my poster paint. And I only got these colors, so it has to be a palette that just got those colors in it. So let me refill this little palette, and I wouldn't be sad if this experiment doesn't work because seriously, I I think I used it a lot, but look, I only made like such a tiny dent in it. So I'm a little bit surprised how what's it called how how much it how what is it called when it's tough to use up something? It's more durable. No. I'm just stirring the ones in these cups. This container got the same issue as the Dina Weekly paints. The more air I get into this container, the more the product wants to dry up. I hit it with water and then I try to stir it up. But because I've done that a couple of times, I'm starting to get lumps in it, which is not likable. But let me just try and use it for this tiny palette here. Here we are in the lab. Yeah. But the good thing about poster paint is that I can see when I've jelly printed with it that I actually can lift it off with water. First paint a blob and dry it, then see if you can move it. Nope. Because now I want to fill up this palette, work with the palette as long as I can, and then when I wake up tomorrow and it's dried, I'm gonna take it from there because whether I have to throw out this packaging, it doesn't matter. Then I at least used it, but I can't really see myself clinging on to this package thing a whole year and then reuse it for the next Easter in a year. That's just too long. Even though I know that maybe I could plant something fun in it, like you can plant the cassis. What is that in English? There are some herbs that grows really fast, and you can plant them on cotton, a bed of cotton. It could be cute to have that in this one, but cute and practical is not the same in my kitchen. Okay, this one got a dispenser, so I'm able to squeeze it out. Oops. I think poster paint is sometimes available in the supermarket. Really inexpensive. It's like a kid's thing. So you can make like a good deal on finding them in the non art supply stores like supermarket and toy stores. It's also known as tempura, tempera, tempera. Tempura is something else. That's when you're using egg yolk. Tempera paint. And you really need to know your preferences. If you dislike using this paint, which dries out super matte, is chalky feeling to work with, if you dislike that, then you can really get your fingers burned if you're looking for inexpensive art supplies. For instance, at Tesa, you think you're buying something, and then what you're getting is this tempera paint. Whoops. Okay, that was fast. Ugh. There's like the consistency of this is like very thick, like you see. So, and I think it's not because it's drying out or getting bad. It's just how it looks. So if you like to paint transparent with a light loaded brush, I cannot recommend temper paint because you cannot lightly load your brush. It will be like a full loaded brush with thick strokes. But hey, it kind of also makes the painting go super fast. So maybe that's why it's called poster paint. Like you can paint something on a huge poster extremely fast. One coat will cover because it's so filled with white fillers. So it's got like good coverage. We should swatch it out. Okay, I got line works on this page here so we can kind of see immediately how opaque it is by swatching on top of these line works. And let me get some water here. That was the white one. Let's see. I've been using my distress inks on my Lynda Barry pages to color the borders. I never use them because of my predisposition to hate anything impermanent. But this whole book is a test of my edges. You know what? My Lynda Barry book has become the place to use my least favorable art supplies. And that's how I've kind of fell in love once again with my gouache palette. I even took out from my stash things that I haven't been using for quite a while because I got better. You know, you know what I mean. It's not to be a snob, but if you got like four kinds of water soluble crayons, but you keep thinking that your Neocolor 2 are the best, you you want to grab for the Neocolor 2 9 out of 10, you know. So I took those supplies that I grabbed last to do my Lynda Barry project. And that was because I knew from the beginning that I'm going to be persistent and pull through a whole 200-page comp book till the end. So I didn't just, and I knew that I'm going to work fast, sloppy, quick schedules. So I didn't want to burn off some loving best art supplies, you know, like using up a whole white Prisma pen or pencil, you know, like I wanted to use up at least some of the supplies that I have been ignoring. So my Linda Berry have actually become like you, Barbara, where I take the supply that I have ignored. Okay, I'm swatching out this poster paint. I can see that it's less opaque than my gouache, but it's more opaque than watercolor. So it's uh, it's okay. It's not acrylic. I mean, it goes down as smooth as acrylic, but it is not acrylic. I'm not even sure that I can blend nicely with it. Ooh, the black is good. Can you see that? That was awesome. I could actually use that black to do blackout backgrounds in the future. The gold is very weak and it's like a copper. I think it needs several coats to become as luscious as in the palette. So yeah, let me hit it with a heat gun and then try and see how many coats we need of that gold before it become a gold color. There was a lot of water in these poster paint. I think it's like with our human bodies, 80% of the jar is water. So it will crinkle up your pages and it will take a long time to dry. Yeah, that gold is just not good. I mean, it's annoying to work with because you need like three, maybe four coat to get an even load like you have on your brush tip here. You don't get that um, on the page. It's very streaky. Okay, now the camera shows like it's wonderful, but it's super streaky. But can you see how the color pigments are very uh, poor? Like you got most white and filler and water, so you almost get like streaky applications. Yeah, either you either you like it or hate it. I must say, after working with gouache and getting used to, I've been working with gouache now for, is it like 2 weeks? I don't know. It feels like a long time. I gotten used to the cover ability to cover in one coat. So I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. Oh my God, Bob Owen just went live. I think I should end my stream. I don't like to go over Bob Owen. So now at least we broke out this palette right here. I'm gonna do a daily spread where I'm having a pun of the big bed day, and I'm gonna paint it into this poster in this poster paint. So see you next week. Yes, you went on live early. I thought I had at least like 15 minutes more for a fast. Like you said, motto fast, sloppy, use it up. So, but let me end my stream so you guys can go over and I know all of us in this chat is enjoying watching his stream. She's not streaming today. Uh, it looks like she just went live. So thank you for today. See you on Friday and have a very nice week. So, thanks for coming and spending time in my house. Bye bye.